Greetings there, fellow engineers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Garrison. Episode 36, Jerry-rigging the new reactor. Next rig. I had hopes, because it did have a reactor room. The whole ship was basically, the Corvus ship, or whatever his name, was basically one massive reactor room. But hope wasn't enough. I'm going to have to do a strafing separation here. There we go. Okay, orders. Or rather, install conduit power. Like that. So you can see where the door is going. The other thing that I had not yet realized is we'll probably want a light in here as well. So I'm going to uninstall this wall and put a light on this back wall above the transponder. And then maybe try to clean up the conduit there or something, because it's ugly. Now this is not going to let me change its color, is it? Nope, I guess we have a blue cockpit. Unless I want to find an orange light and install an orange light there, but for now, that's fine. I could have put two lights here and here. Well, I have lights there, actually. You know what? I don't need a light here, after all. I'll take it back. I could change the color and then mount it with that color, yeah, I know. True. I never do that, though. Not for a good reason. Does this really need conduit here? I didn't think it did. No, it doesn't. Okay. Alright, the cabling now looks a lot cleaner, and it's just ready for a door, and then it's kind of done. Then I need more walls for the towing braces. How soon until I get there? 9 minutes? Okay, let's, in those 9 minutes, quickly uninstall these lights, because I think they were interfering with the towing brace placements. Almost there. Coming in hot. Too hot. No, don't bump! The Bright Vandal E00 Medium. Looks to be a blown-up hunk of junk, just like all the others. What the hell is my luck, man? At least it has a door. So at the very least, I'll get a cockpit. Oh my god. Wow. This is barely a ship. I like how the airlock is like completely mint quality. Like this ship here is like completely blown apart, but somehow the airlock was unfazed. You made a neutronium? Yeah, this thing is a scrap heap. Not to be stuck around long. But the good news is We fulfilled the requirement for a closed bridge. Bridge is closed. I'm gonna get in the habit of like leaving these doors open anyway, because I don't really need them closed. And then if I am leaving them open, I'm actually, this is gonna look a little weird, but I'm going to uninstall the lights here, because I don't think I really need to stare at the cables on the floor constantly. Unfortunately, they're not like subfloor cables, they're very much in the way. Tripping hazards and all. And I think it will just look cleaner this way. Yeah, definitely does. I like the aesthetics. I mean, it's a weird ship, but it's got a bunch of rooms, like, sort of pushed into one another. Oh, what was the, material? It was Ryoka. Okay. I just wanted to check if it was... I probably would have noticed it was Mobilite, but we need some Mobilite walls to be able to make the towing brace reality. Bye-bye, Bright Vandal, or whatever you are. Where are we going? Maybe here? Pretty far away, so we can do a high velocity burn. I want to see how lined up I can be before doing that. Bearing to 0. Cross velocity, come on. To 0. Thrust! It's too bad you can't get more decimal points. So you can get like pinpoint accuracy or some sort of like slight guide. So if you're within like 1 degree, it like lines you up. But we'll be there in 15 minutes. It is 34 past the hour. So in 10 minutes, 44 past the hour, I will start to decelerate. Or at least be at the helm so I don't come crashing in. So at this point, I think we have a closed bridge, a Lux Quarter, a bathroom, a reactor room, and then this area out here, it might be designated as engineering because it has batteries, chargers, and RCS systems. So I might have made engineering on accident. I could be wrong about that. All right, time to be at the helm. Whoa. God, I decelerated too much. All right, they're in 8 minutes. Let's christen the bathroom. I'm going to freshen up at my sink. It also reminds me, I have not been doing this, but I've been meaning to, which is to, steal water from the derelicts so I can fill my sink and also fill my flask. I guess these are just the daily wear and tear. Oh, right, I forgot about the transponder. I'll make sure to, throw that out. It'd be really interesting if the game made, messing with transponders technically illegal. So if NAS ever caught you with transponders on your ship, you would be, like, held as, like, for fraud or something. I mean, I think the game's complex and difficult enough, so maybe it's not necessary, but it would be pretty neat. The Rising Eagle, a D2E Titan Max. I have hope. This thing is large. I think it will also have it will also have the types of components I'm looking for. I hope. So fingers crossed that we end up with mobile light stuff, allowing me to do some remodeling. I don't see any hostile life signs or anything like that, so going aboard. The individual components on the ship are in remarkably good condition. Like, there's not a lot of stuff that's, like, straight up broken. Cooler's intact, bins are, you know, I mean, the beds look a little rough. But it's a pretty clean ship, damage-wise, for a derelict. Here's the reactor. Oh, yes! Woo! Thank God. Thank God. Got so tired. Oh, wow, and it's almost full. Reactor. That's what I needed to have a working reactor. Frickin' finally. I might need to move my bays. One reasonable place to put the tanks is here. I did say that I wanted it in my reactor room. So, actually, this might not have any of the parts that I need to build the rest of the reactor. Which is, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, because this is all Tetsudo junk. But the fact that I found the heavy water tank is like 99% of the battle anyway, so I'm not all concerned about the rest. I think it's very reasonable to try to get reaction going today. Alright, we are done with this ship. I know there's more like valuable here, but I got what I wanted. So if you want me to spin up the torch drive for the first time, we are going to need to either uninstall those bays and replace the floors, or something. We're going to need to make room for the tanks. So what I was hoping to do is to hit up another few ships, and then if this next ship I go to doesn't have what I'm looking for in terms of parts, what I can do is I'll go back to the ship vendor and revisit something. Revisit a derelict I've already been to guarantee that I'll find mobile light salvage. But yeah, having that heavy water tank is so nice. So we're there in 15 minutes. Let's go restore the tank. You can install reactors, not on cargo nets, but you can install them externally. I don't want to, you know, for a lot of reasons. But it's not to say that it's impossible. They need to be fully solid ground tiles as well as 2 tiles around them for like the substructure, quote unquote. Them's the rules. And I need more orange way to make that possible. Plus mobile light walls. But if absolutely need be, I could just sort of shove random tanks in around to make it work. And then try to make it better later. So if this, how about this? If this ship does not have what I'm looking for, I will just try to get a working reactor hell or high water. And then like work on making it nicer later. I think that's fair. Oh my god. Normally when you go to the docking, you don't see it that close. Luckily I had done most of my deceleration, but it was like, oh, yep. We're there, all right. Postponing towing braces? Well, ultimately the priority is reactor room. Because towing braces are pretty useless, in my opinion. This is another big one. Another Titan Max. It is even larger than the last one. And apparently, it's got a lot of closed doors. I think it had pressure. I think I saw it, like, depressurized or something. There was some sprites or something that looked weird. God, what's with all these broken doors? It's like they're trying to keep the xenomorphs inside. So here's the reactor room. It's somewhat complete. Doesn't look too bad. Their nav station with like tons of thrusters. What the hell is with that thruster bay? Whoever was flying this thing probably went deaf from all the network of plumbing right next to their head. Refrigerators. I feel like I've only seen part of the ship. Maybe I don't really understand the form factor here all that well. But no, I think we're I think that's it. Now in terms of parts, this is not, of course, the mobile light. I don't think I saw any mobile light anywhere. What is this floor? This is pseudo. Okay. Is it a meat ship? Not as far as I could tell. It doesn't seem to have any meat on it. Alright. There's one more ship up here. This is my Hail Mary. And then I will... But regardless of the Hail Mary, I think what I'll do is I'll start retrofitting the current ship in its... Oh, come on. So that we can, do fusion anyway. So I'll do a 200 burn. Maybe a 250 burn. Okay, so one reasonable spot to put these tanks is where the parts bay and the books bay is. So I'm going to close the ship because it's about to become depressurized. Uninstall the bays, which means there won't be a floor there. Make damn well sure I don't accidentally jettison these bays out to space. Because it's really easy to do that when you have a giant hole in your ship. And the plan is to then put flooring here so I can install the tanks here, because I can put a tank here and a tank here really easily, and then like figure out how to put a tank down there by like finagling the floors. So not my ideal setup, but like a makeshift setup that is workable. I don't think I don't know where I want to put these bays though. That's the problem, is I'm not too keen on putting the bays up here where my cargo area is. I mean, my cargo area is getting increasingly shrunk, as I'm sure you've noticed. But my need to salvage, to survive my daily life is, like, pretty low. Check how close I'm getting. We are 9 minutes away. I could put... I forget the rules for bays. I think bays have to have one tile around them for viability. Yeah, I can put a bay here. It's not terrible, because like right in front of a door is not an area that you would necessarily be putting other things anyway. So, that's workable, as far as I'm concerned. And then, this tank can go here, and it doesn't really block the hallways so much, because you can walk around it. And we can do the same thing on the other side. Although we're about to... Yep. That was weird. I, like, threw the towing brace. Hi, throttle. Alright, I'm just gonna hit match speed. There we go. Unmatched speed. The W walks. Is this my ship? Is this my mobile light love? Oh my god. Why is my ship wiggling around so hard? Good lord. D1E medium, so it's not very big. It also has a bunch of dead bodies on it. I think they're dead. Yep. Career? Question mark. Yeah, well, yeah. Rest in peace. Alright, well I'm glad I started to work towards my temporary makeshift solution. Because it's pretty clear I was not going to be able to find mobile light stuff. So the books bay and the parts bay are back in. And then I can put another tank here. And then I just need to figure out a viable spot for the last tank to make it work. So we can have a helium tank there. And then I need a cryo tank. The other thing I don't think I have in this core, although I'm not 100% sure, is Ablative core stuff. So, I could actually put a tank there, I think. Maybe? The other helium tanks are, like, nice to have when I'm trying to do long burn missions, but at the moment they're just kind of in the way. Interestingly, yes, I could put the cryo tank here. It totally is a blocker, but we can walk around it. Again, makeshift. Alright, before I... Whoa, god, there's a lot of There's a lot of stuff here. If we're going any further, let's grab PDA, 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 strip, strip. Oh, look at all that lovely water. Spoken like a true belter. At this point, my... Oops. Like how I'm putting water on the ground. My sink's basically full. So, I don't really care about the rest of the stuff on that ship. I just grabbed the data. Whoa, it is vacuum in my ship. I forgot about that. At this point, we could repressurize, because it's airtight. I forgot ship was a vacuum, and I, like, took my helmet off. But it's repressurizing. If I was worried about the lack of pressure, what I could do is close the bedroom door, and it becomes breathable in here a lot faster. Like this. Yeah. So it's cold, because I don't have a heater in here, but it's already breathable. Alright, the very last thing I wanted to do is to celebrate the creation of the reactor. I actually don't know... I don't think I don't know how much stuff I have in my tanks at the moment. So I guess that's a bit of a concern. Why am I still tingly? Come on. Where am I anyway? Oh, here we are. So here is the reactor itself. And what I can do is I can do the first spin up checklist. So here we go. Fusion. Oh, no, that's not really the checklist. That's the installation checklist. So for the first startup checklist, let me just go back to the Ostranauts wiki. So I'm not completely going off memory because it has been like half a year. But we'll want to power bus battery. All right, go. Fusion, where is it? Come on, wiki. There is the in-game wiki too, like the new help system, which could probably talk me through it. It just fills enough of the screen that it's kind of tricky for you guys to follow along. But, alright, here we go. So, starting up. Set the power bus to battery so that you are drawing off your ship's battery to start up the fusion reaction. And let everything to flicker on. You want to vac out your... Oh, let me take off... no, I should leave the helmet on for now. You want to vacuum out your core. So power bus battery on. Oh, it's not even plugged in. Oh my god. I was like, what is going on? Yeah, it's not plugged in. I'll go a little overtime. But we need to conduit up. It's like, batteries don't seem to be working. Yeah, duh, it's not plugged in. Any IT person would know that. First question, is it plugged in? Alright, I really don't need all of what I queued up, so cancel that stuff. Yeah, if you do it wrong, it explodes. You die. It's a pretty good incentive of not doing it wrong. And I'm going to auto-restore the cables a little bit, because if any of the cables are, like, about to burn out, that'd be a problem, too. Alright, that's probably good enough. Little quick save. Okay. Battery bus. Still not having battery power? Does this... No? It should. Oh, the center isn't the power. Duh. It has been that long. Install. I need more conduit. There we go. Well, it's powered on now, but I like to do a full square of conduit. So let's get them on. Okay, we need a few more pieces of conduit, and then we're good to go. Excuse me, dead people. Just don't mind me. Make sure the conduit isn't in terrible condition. Looks fine. Yeah. Okay, I think it's fine. So, the conduit in the middle, I'm gonna just leave there. It's gonna be my, like, token center conduit as a joke. Alright, we are on battery power now. The core has been purged, it's green, and the laser caps are ready. Alright, I'm going to set core purge. Actually, I'm going to rough purge it again, and can we breathe? Yeah, we can take the helmet off now. Okay. So, here's the steps again. The first thing you do is put the power bus to battery, so that you can start up the sequence using your ship's batteries. The second is to purge the core of any spent fuel, so that you're starting at 0. Basically, you don't want you to flood your engine or whatever. Alright. Then we turn the core purge off because we don't want to be purging all the fuel that we put into our core. That's a very common problem that people do. Alright, afterwards, we verify Lazaline, which it is aligned. Done. Then we do the pellet feeder. Done. Then we put the cryo on. Done. We want to fuel regulate the field coils. Cool. Wait for that to go. Stick the MHD on, which is here. Oh, we also need the rear fuel coils. The fuel... There we go. Nope. Nope, I screwed up. Did I drain my batteries? Oh my god. Wait, this battery has charge. Yay, I do have backup batteries. I just didn't know it because they were installed wrong. Pick up and install. Turning off the reactor and getting the other battery installed. Alright, now let's not potato this. Batteries on. Hello? This is weird. There we go. Alright, last cap. Pellet feeder. Cryo. Pellet feeder is not reading green yet, but I'm sure it will. Fuel regulation. Forward and backward field coils. MHD. And ignition. And then once the core pressure is about middle here, it stabilizes. And then we can set the power bus to charge, and the reactor will start charging our ship batteries. Provided I've done everything else proper. Battery charge. Slowly walk away. And now, as you can see, batteries are charging. Battery power is going up. Woo! We did it! What a mess, but we did it. So if we take a look here at power reserves, we have power! Why is the last cap red now? It doesn't really matter. It's not going to blow up. The laser capacitor is... there's a lot of flicking lights that will, like, flicker, but it's... as long as it's not in the danger, it's fine. And in fact, I don't know why LasCap is the way it is. Maybe it's my pellet feeder to LasCap ratio. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's operational. This is running proper. And as a result, I don't really need to worry about power as long as I top up back a K-leg, because I'm generating, you know, as long as the helium, heavy water, and cryo tanks have, you know, their stuff in them, we're good. So the very, 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 very last thing I want to do before I end the stream is to go back to K-leg and to top up my fuels. And then do a ship rating to figure out my evaluation. I know I'm going a little over time, but my curiosity must be satisfied. And you can also see the torch drive down here. So the temperature is in the green. The safety is engaged, and I'm in the no wake zone. The TLDR is the wake zone is a concept of, like, basically I'm too close to society to do a transfer burn. So the game's not gonna, like, let me do some sort of transfer burn while close to the K-leg, because that would, like, kill everyone. So now I'm pretty literally Tokyo drifting around Ganymede to get to K-leg. Honestly, a pretty good, nice drifting burn, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I'm sure the reactor room is going to be toasty. It's actually only a few degrees warmer than normal, but it's something to be done, you know, later. Not right now. All right, give me docking clearance. I'm too far away. Fine. No, I'm not. You hear that? You could have just given me clearance a second ago. Shut up. Alright, here we go. Bring her in. My torch ship is done. Oh, I also totally forgot I need to rename my ship. We are now the Fusion Punk. That's right! Not folk punk anymore. We're full on fusion. Alright, here we are, refueling services, and now that I have those tanks installed, you can see the price to fill up the tanks of helium, heavy water, and is... I don't need to buy power, though. And then the last stop was the ship evaluation. You're surprised they don't charge me for renaming a ship? Well, it doesn't change my call sign. It's just like a colloquial name. And Onyx, thank you for the resub. Alright, here we are. And if luck has it, I will have a closed bridge, engineering room, reactor room, bathroom, Lux quarter. All that jazz. So, it's right now valued at 1.7 mil. The Fusion Punk. But, let's do the new rating. To see if all the room designations have worked properly. Bathroom, Lux quarter, closed bridge, engineering room, reactor room, airlock. Yeah! That's what I want. An A6E Luna Max. Nice. So, it's got an airlock, an engineer bridge. Yeah, it's got everything I intended to build in spades. And it's also worth 1.7 mil. It's a pretty penny. Yeah, I don't need your kilowatts now anymore. Sorry, K-Leg, but you can't charge me, like, literally pennies. Honestly, power is so cheap in this game. It's ridiculous, but they can't charge me for it anymore. So yeah, I would say the reactor worked, and I am going to power it down because we don't really need it running all the time. And interestingly, there's different ways to power it down, but the easiest is just to kill it. And then on next startup, you just have to make sure to purge your core of whatever unspent fuel you had. But I'm doing that because I don't really have the cooling systems and atmospheric systems to deal with like a hot reactor at the moment. That's a future project, possibly. But there you have it. That, friends, is where I am going to leave off for today. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow K-Leg Salvagers.